Paradox. Why linguistically gifted children don't always excel academically, reasons and how parents can support. Welcome, dear parents, to today's program. Every parent is proud when their child shows a talent for language. Isn't that right? We often assume these children will excel in school, learn quickly, and have a significant advantage in their studies. But is this always the case for every child? And if not, how can we help our children leverage their linguistic strengths while effectively improving their academic performance? Today, we'll explore an intriguing paradox: why some children with exceptional linguistic abilities don't achieve the academic success we expect. Experts highlight 3 key points to consider. First, unchallenging academic tasks. Second, the unique learning styles of these children. And third, specific personality traits that may affect their motivation to learn. The combination of these factors can lead to a loss of motivation, anxiety, stress, and even avoidance of learning. Sounds complex, doesn't it? Don't worry, right now, we'll dive into each aspect to better understand our children and find the best ways to support them. Why do some linguistically gifted children underperform academically? Have you ever wondered why your child, who speaks fluently, tells captivating stories, and uses rich vocabulary, sometimes doesn't achieve the academic results you'd hope for? The root cause lies in the lack of challenge in their learning tasks, combined with their unique learning styles and temperament, which can dampen their passion for learning. Linguistically gifted children often learn by taking a holistic, big-picture approach. They enjoy exploring abstract concepts and grand ideas. So, when forced to focus excessively on minor, fragmented details instead of the broader context, they may feel bored and lose motivation. Regrettably, some teachers may not fully understand this issue. Much of the child development knowledge educators are trained in is based on psychologist Jean Piaget's stages of development. According to Piaget, children typically develop abstract thinking around age 11 or 12. This can result in the unique learning needs of linguistically gifted children not being adequately met. Children with linguistic talent, especially those driven by external motivation, may complete any assigned task to earn high grades. However, if they're continually given monotonous, repetitive tasks they find dull, they may become anxious and feel overwhelmed. And when this pattern persists, what do these children do? They find ways to avoid the tasks, as it's the only way they know to cope with rising anxiety. Ironically, this avoidance becomes a new challenge, a game of hide and seek with schoolwork, temporarily relieving their discomfort but further lowering their academic performance. Understanding these traits is the key to unlocking our children's potential for success. What are exceptional linguistic skills? Before we go further, let's clarify. What do we mean by linguistically gifted children? These are children who understand and use language with ease and fluency. This includes mastering grammar, possessing a rich vocabulary, and using language creatively, such as writing poetry or stories. These children often learn foreign languages quickly and have a keen ear for sounds, enabling them to pick up and mimic intonation effortlessly. They also excel at understanding and manipulating linguistic symbols, like the alphabet. Most of us agree that language skills, reading, writing, and speaking, are critical tools for academic success. So, it seems logical to assume that linguistically gifted children have a significant advantage, as they often read well and have expansive vocabularies. But here's a surprising truth. Research shows that, in general, linguistically gifted children sometimes perform worse academically than their peers. Why does this paradox exist? Let's explore further the unique learning style of linguistically gifted children. So, what's a key reason behind this paradox? It lies in the distinct learning style of these children. Linguistically gifted children are often global learners. meaning they prefer to grasp the big picture first. They want to understand the overarching idea before delving into specific details. These children seek meaning and want to deeply understand concepts and their implications. They're not interested in rote memorization of details, which many tests require. For them, memorizing without understanding the essence is meaningless. To illustrate, consider this example. Global learners often lack motivation to memorize multiplication tables. Instead, they'd be far more engaged if they could learn these operations in real-world contexts, applying them to solve specific problems. However, most schools expect children to memorize details first, viewing them as foundational knowledge necessary for future learning. So, before applying multiplication tables to real-world problems, schools often require children to memorize them. For global learners, they need to understand why these details matter and how they fit into the bigger picture before they're willing to invest effort in learning them. You might find it odd to use math as an example for challenges faced by linguistically gifted children. But remember, we're discussing learning style, not the subject matter itself. Sometimes, parents may think their child resists memorizing multiplication tables because they dislike math or have weaker math skills compared to language. This may be true in some cases, but their resistance could also stem from disliking tasks they find meaningless. Intrinsic motivation. What truly drives your child? Another critical factor is your child's source of motivation. What truly inspires them to strive and excel in learning? Psychologists note that linguistically gifted children often have strong intrinsic motivation. This means parental approval, academic awards, or even high grades may not be their primary drivers. What these children truly crave are engaging, interesting tasks or challenges that feel worthwhile. For them, memorizing information or details without challenge is unappealing and not worth their effort. If these children aren't given sufficiently challenging tasks, they may create their own challenges. For example, they might set time limits for completing assignments, even if no one asked them to. They'll do this even if it risks their performance on the task or test. While they could easily earn high grades with minimal effort, they find self-imposed challenges more valuable and exciting. Intrinsically motivated, linguistically gifted children also tend to choose difficult tasks over easy ones to test themselves, even if it jeopardizes their academic performance. Additionally, these children can be a bit impulsive. When impulsive, they pay little attention to minor details and lack the patience to do so. From a young age, gifted children show a preference for novelty, meaning they need constant mental stimulation. This preference makes it hard for them to persist with tedious tasks, and overly easy tasks bore them immensely. Sensitive temperament. When anxiety speaks. Finally, we can't overlook an often ignored aspect of these children: their temperament, particularly their sensitivity to stress and anxiety. According to the National Association for Gifted Children in the U.S., linguistically gifted children who don't fulfill their potential are often more prone to stress and anxiety. Many find it puzzling why a bright, articulate child refuses to complete simple tasks. But the truth is, when tasks lack challenge, these children lose motivation, and when pressured, they can become highly anxious. In fact, gifted children may become so anxious and stressed when forced to complete tasks they find dull that they'll go to great lengths to avoid them. However, many teachers and even parents may misinterpret this avoidance as a lack of understanding. Or worse, label the child as lazy or disorganized. Another issue is that these children often struggle to articulate the source of their anxiety. For example, a child might tell their parents or teacher that a task is too hard. But the hard they describe and the hard adults understand aren't the same. For adults, hard typically means the task exceeds the child's abilities or they lack the necessary knowledge. But what the child means by hard is Continuing to do something so easy and boring is causing me significant anxiety and pressure. Dear parents, understanding these aspects, learning style, motivation, and sensitive temperament, is the critical first step. From there, we can find appropriate ways to support our children, helping them not only leverage their linguistic strengths but also find joy and success in learning. I hope today's insights provide valuable guidance for your journey in supporting your child. Thank you for listening.